You found out that the feds had arrested Diddy while you were filming this new show, Botched Presents Plastic Surgery Rewind.
Yeah. Oh my God, Diddy got arrested. Oh my God.
What was it like to live through that with a camera following you?
God, I didn't even see any of the camera. It was such a surreal moment. I just couldn't believe it. I'd say it's like an earthquake. And then the aftershocks were insane. It is about plastic surgery and rewinding the time on that. For me, I was like, okay, you know, they're gonna take a look at me. I've been drugged through the mud. I mean, I've had, according to the internet, and by the way, if I look at the photos they use, I really would believe it. But they're taking photoshopped photos from like, you know, some years ago, and they're putting it next to something. It's like your face develops. I was a kid when I started.
Right.
I was 100 pounds. I didn't have any development. My mom didn't develop till much later in life. I didn't get my period 2 years after all my best friends. I've always been kind of a late bloomer in that way, but my body developed on camera in front of the world.
Right.
And so I just get murdered left and right for all of these things that everybody thinks, when really I got lip fillers that were like invading my face, and I thought they really looked good until they took them away, and I got to see that I was tripping. Good God, I'm so happy those lips are off my face. When I see photos with the lip injections, I'm disgusted. I thought I was killing it, and I was not, ever was I killing it with those big giant, when people would say duck lips, I'd be like, they're just jealous. Oh no, they were trying to tell me. Some people aren't haters. Some people really are trying to guide you better.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to hear what we need to hear.
Yeah, and I was looking in the mirror and I thought it looked good. And I thought that, because you know, so many girls in LA have big fat lips that are done by doctors that just give it to you for free. And the doctor kept having me come in and kept me doing it for free. And I just was keeping up with the Joneses. But I didn't realize how it was taking over my face.
Right.
I didn't even look young. I could see why people were like, so you really can look much younger if you get rid of that stuff. People always think I have these fake boobs, fake butt. I think when they see me in person, they could probably like get a better gauge.
Yeah.
But what's funny is when I went in, I was like, oh my, I learned all these different procedures and things, and I was like, I want to get that. Meanwhile, I was taping, even all the way through the ending we filmed later on, like at the end of last year, I was still, and I'm gonna hate seeing the ending of this show because my 40 at that time year old boobies were like down here, and I'm taping them up. I finally figured out how to get this like boob tape that lifts them all the way back up. In the beginning of January, I actually went and got a maxoplexy, which is a breast lift.
Oh.
And so now these things are just sitting.
Sitting
No
right
bra,
up.
no tape, no nothing. They're just up and out. They're back like my 21-year-old titties, and I love it. So I would tell everybody that surgery was great. I'll tell you, the surgeon, they look amazing, like very, very minimal scars. I'm so happy that my boobs are finally back where they deserve to be after all the work that I've done in my life. But at that time, I hadn't done anything yet. I didn't feel that I needed it until that very last episode. I really was just taping those boobs up so much.
So why did you want to go through this experiment if you maybe didn't have a thought of like, should I undo or redo or?
Can I be honest? I didn't really know why. An opportunity came, and I had spent, at that point, maybe about a year and some change. I don't know exactly timing, but I had spent a long time in hiding and talking to Homeland. I mean, you have to realize when you're in that world, you're scared. Yeah. Imagine a lifetime of trying to tell people to be careful of this man and getting blacklisted. That's like just my life. Many opportunities. I'm a very talented girl. I should have moved on and been very, very successful in music by myself without having to struggle much. Yeah. I went on to be successful with a lot of struggle and no help, and doing it all on my own with my bandmate, etc. Like carried on into Dumb Blonde and did some really great music and successful projects, but it was never easy. It was never handed to me. Nothing was. No privilege over here at all.
So is coming out of this show, maybe not the intention going in, but you get to reclaim the narrative a little bit.
For me, it was, I'm really starting to wonder about my mental health, being scared to go outside. I started realizing I didn't like going outside. I started developing like unnecessary panics and anxieties. And then, I went to Baddies, and Baddies is its own fun, magical land, but there's a lot of abuse that happens there, and everybody laughs at it consensually, but it was very traumatic.
Yeah. Well, because you might, just because as a trauma response.
Because you've seen the video of what happened to Cassie at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Yes.
And if you understand the level of abuse that now that everybody understands that is capable of by that person, then you might be traumatized if you were put into a setting like Baddies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was how it started out the year, and it was a lot. And then coming into this, when this came, I was like, okay, there's therapists, and like, it's transformational. For me, is it gonna be a physical transformation that's so outrageous? No, but physical transformations and mental transformations hold the same type of weight. You may have to be out for months with a physical transformation. Sometimes you're out for years with mental ones.
Yeah. And one can inform the other and vice versa.
Of course, I learned so much, but I still had this weight on me, like, is Diddy gonna get indicted every day? And nobody really was asking me about any of it because nobody really knew.
Well, and do people also operate around you with kid gloves because they don't know if...
Maybe. I wasn't like I got like, the indictment day was a shift for me in that house. Like,
did it change the whole experience for you?
The whole experience, and everyone got very close with me, and I made real friends that to this day I've spoken to ever since leaving and just right before walking in here to this interview.
How would you say truly growing up in front of the world, having moments you probably wish weren't documented, informed how you viewed yourself, your self-worth, your beauty?
I don't necessarily feel any connection with my physical self. Like, I've been picked apart so much. If I were to have allowed that to continue, I wouldn't be able to sit here in front of you. It's brutal.
So like a defense mechanism, you have to separate the two because you can't control what people are gonna say about it.
I've gone from Diddy forcing me to eat like multiple cheeseburgers because I'm too skinny, not attractive, and people don't wanna me, to obese photos that were widely distributed and edited, and laughter at how I'm such a fat, obese failure. And now you can only see fat, obese failure when you Google me, and imagine how much I've done in my life, from Broadway to my own television show to everyone else's television shows. I'm 41 and I'm still here, all on your TV this year. And yet, that's what you see when you look me up. So you have to, I kind of say this during the show, but I had to shed so many layers of myself. Like, anyone saying you knew it, you told us when the Diddy stuff started, becoming more public, I don't receive it. I'm not rude, but I don't like take it in and go home and go, wow, like I did a good thing, my life mattered. Like, I'm happy that I aged well. I'm happy that I aged well. But the person who needed to have somebody listen to her is long gone. All those layers. The person that cared about her body, long gone. The person that cared about how, now I always present myself, but that's not because I'm vain or I care about my looks. It's because I was trained by Diddy, and you could not walk in front of him with, like, these toes wouldn't be acceptable right now because this toe is bigger than this toe.
Are you serious?
And he thinks that that's ugly. But this perfectly manicured foot, I have corn, so don't go too much into it. But that perfectly manicured foot, to this day, it's not necessary. No one would have seen it in this interview. You probably wouldn't have even looked at my toes had I not said it. I do. I notice if my toes aren't that way because it was a big deal with Diddy.
Is that something you've tried to untrain yourself from, or is it you've just accepted that's how you have to operate because it's so ingrained in you?
I think it's one of the lessons that he taught me that's maybe valuable.
Okay. Is that a little bit of a mind F for you, that the Diddy stuff isn't all bad? There are some good things you took away? Is that?
Well, babe, I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for him. I wouldn't have been a star of a double platinum selling girl group. I mean, again, the aftershocks of the earthquake were so beautiful for so many people that I can't forget that all started with the Diddy earthquake.
You can't write him out of the story because he's integral.
No, and I think people, like, it's so graphic and so disturbing that you want to hate him, and if you hate him, he's a bad guy, and if you say anything good, then who are you? If you didn't take the stand, then who are you? I mean, I got beat up, and I'm like, do you guys realize that I'd have to get us? I can't walk to the court and jump on the stand and say, guys, I'm here.
Right.
Let's go.
It's not a sign-up sheet.
It's not a sign-up. You can't even walk in if you don't have credentials. It's not. These are very specific charges of very specific things. I was not sex trafficked.
Right.
So I'm not going to be on that stand. I would never agree to do any sexual behavior with Diddy. I would never agree. If anything occurred, I never agreed to it. And I would not know of it because I do not know of anything like that.
Okay.
I have no memory of anything like that.
Coming out of Plastic Surgery Rewind, how do you feel about Aubrey, who's sitting here today?
I feel very steady and confident. I feel I aged well. I feel that I trust my voice, and I'm locking in with my instincts to a point where I don't ask people when I feel things anymore. I just trust. I learned some of that in Bali when I was getting healthy, but you don't quite really get the little exclamation point at the end of the lesson learned until it gets put into real time.
Yeah.
And you actually have to show that type of character in a difficult situation. I've been put in a lot of difficult situations in the past 2 years, and I've been a really stand-up human. I'm good to people, I'm kind. You know, I noticed myself on this show, usually I could tell you something about everybody, and then some. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel inclined to. Now listen, I might have a little shady jab here or there. I don't know. It depends on how people were treating me.
But you focused on you.
I don't really recall wanting to feel bad about anyone. I was trying to find the good in everybody, even when it was hard.
Maybe there's other reasons why you've also considered and done some cosmetic enhancements, right?
It started with being in a girl group and the demands I noticed of my looks. Diddy was, I mean, Diddy, it's a hard topic for me.
Take your time.
I was the sexy one.
Yeah.
And that needed to be who I was at all times.
Without giving away what you ultimately decided to do on Plastic Surgery Rewind, are you happy with the choices you made, or do you wish you had done something else?
I mean, I would have loved to get the maxoplexy on the show because it's just so amazing to have boobies that are just
It was like affirming for you.
firm and affirm. Firm and affirming.
Affirming.
It was such a great moment, and I never get, like, you know, people have accused me of so many surgeries that I finally, like, have one that I actually did that I'm so proud of, and I can't even talk about it because it wasn't televised. The revolution wasn't televised that day. It should have been. It was during all the fires. It was so chaotic. But anyway, no, I'm so happy with the results. Dr. Terry is an incredible man. And for me to say that is a lot because I've only really told people when someone is not an incredible man. And the one thing I can say about all three of the people that led this show, Michelle, Dr. Spirit, and Dr. Terry, all cared about every one of us every day. I never felt like anyone was rushing me through conversations, and everybody does that because I talk a lot.
Yeah, I've picked up on that today.
Yeah, I talk a lot. But you know, I've been isolated for a long time, and I've been.
And you have things to say.
Not one part is like, that wasn't that important. I listen to people talk little, and I'm like, that's all you had to say, and that little.
No, you've got a 1,000-piece puzzle, but it's all needed.
I've
for
got
the
a
picture.
book, but everybody I'd write it about is in power right now, so I gotta chill.
Okay.
There wouldn't be a
will
publisher.
Will there be a book one day?
When I do a book, I will not do it in a setting where we're picking and choosing what we can talk about. The life I've had is the life I've had, and if people want to know about it, you got to be willing to hear about it. You can do a lot of things with being a victim. You can ask for money. A lot of people do that. You can tell your truth for money and ask for money. There's a variety of things. I never took the ask for money lanes.
Yeah.
So, like, my life never advances in regards to the way I see myself living off of all the stuff that I struggle through, and I try to do the right thing
But you
always.
can be proud because you are living that way. You're not, as you said, owned by anybody.
And by the way, if I made the money that I actually made Diddy during Danity Kane, and I was living in a big giant mansion at 17, 18, I'm in my teens, I'd probably be a little bit happier. Today, maybe, I'm sure, would have made me a little happier.